Time to begin bring the call, this governing board meeting in Rio Rico, for the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District at 570 Lito Galindo and the Rio Rico Governing Boardroom at CDUSD Governing Boardroom. Would you please stand for the pledge? And Mr. Stan Gilman, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Yes, sir, be honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Susan Fobian,
Present.
Brad Beach,
Present.
Mr. Joel Kramer, Lourdes Vasquez,
Present.
and I'm here, so that makes 4 out of 5. We're in quorum. Mr. Verdugo, adoption of the agenda.
I think it was due to the calls of the public that we received. I make a suggestion that we move that to the second item and move the retirees recognition to the first item of the agenda.
Okay. Okay, do I hear a motion to move the retirees to the first part of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Mr. Fanning up. Tonight, we are able to recognize our retirees. Prior to the board meeting, I was able to share the group in general and thank them for all of their years of service and contribution to our district. We're very fortunate to have great people that work for our district. And the group of retirees is no exception. They are all great individuals that have done a lot of different things within our district. And I'm going to go ahead and turn to Mr. Fanning, who has some information about each retiree. Mr. Fanning.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mr. President, board members, district administration, and retirees, and all guests. Before I begin, I did a little addition, and I'm hoping my numbers are correct. But collectively, not 50, not 100, not 200 years, between the 12 people who will be retiring here today, we are losing 232 years of incredible.
Wow.
And I am going to begin with the person who has 10, and I'm going to end with the person who has 26. So if I could call Wanda Glenn up at this time, that would be great. I've been known to drop these, so.
Are you trusting this?
Let's have Angie help.
Wanda has been with our district for 10 years at Rio Rico High School. Wanda has been part of the Rio Rico High School community for 10 years. During this time, she's engaged students in earth science and has truly anchored down the science department, consistency and appreciation for the content. Wanda has truly impacted students at Rio Rico High School through her efforts and commitment. Thank you for all that you've done to make Rio Rico High School an A+ school of excellence. A school is only as great as the people contributing to the success. We hope you get to enjoy your horses as you ride off and enjoy your retirement. We rep Wanda Glenn. Unfortunately, Ms. Fraunfelter could not be here tonight. She is from Mountain View and has served 14 years. Next, if I could have Ms. Henson come up. Darla Henson has been with our district for 15 years at San Cayetano. Congratulations to Ms. Henson, who after 15 years of dedicated library and media support, turns the page to the next chapter of her life, retirement. We wish you quiet moments, invigorating walks, amazing sights, and the company of your fur babies, friends, and family. With gratitude for many years of inspiring young readers, your Cheetah family. Ms. Darla Henson. Ms. Gabar was at the high school and is now at Calabasas. Ms. Gabar has been in the district for 16 years and has been an instrumental teacher to many students over the years. Ms. Gabar has spent most of those years at Rio Rico High School, as she has worn many hats besides an English teacher, class advisor, club sponsor, curriculum writer, and much more. Ms. Gabar has spent hours of her time after school tutoring students to ensure the students had every opportunity to learn at their level. Ms. Gabar has made many connections with students over the years that she has students visit her often to thank her for all of the hard work and how much she had done for them. Ms. Gabar has been recognized at the top 5% banquet from multiple students because of her heart and how much she cares for our students. We are thankful for the years that Ms. Gabar has dedicated. However, we sure will miss her. Michelle Gabar. Here we go, 17 years. Mr. Gilman has worked in the district for the past 17 years. Mr. Gilman has taught 6th, 7th, 8th grade in different capacities. Over the years, Mr. Gilman is well known for being an incredible math teacher. He is able to not only get students to understand math, but to enjoy math. He also has a great sense of humor and makes his classroom inviting and energetic for all students. Mr. Gilman is a hardworking and dedicated teacher who has always gone above and beyond for our students. We are thankful for the time, passion, and dedication Mr. Gilman has given to our students, families, and community. Congratulations, Mr. Gilman. "20 years from in the district office, Ms. Blanca Lizarraga. Ms. Lizarraga joined the business office team 20 years ago. Ms. Lizarraga's role within our department evolved from student activities to payroll to accounting specialist. During this time, her impact in our district went beyond the walls of the business office. Ms. Lizarraga is one of the members of the famous Chicks with Chains group. Since 2004, she has volunteered on the sidelines of our football field during home games. Ms. Lizarraga's commitment is a reflection of her understanding of the importance of her contributions in our district and our community at large. Her kindness, dedication, and willingness to help are attributes that will be missed. Congratulations. Eva Garcia, 20 years, transportation. Eva Garcia has driven for the school district for the past 20 years. Her kindness and enthusiasm will be missed by her students and coworkers. She has transported and driven many miles throughout the past 20 years for the school district. We wish you the best in your next adventure in retirement and babysitting your new grandchild. In 20 years. Maria Felix is not here this evening to transportation. Ms. Adriana Leva is not here with us tonight, 23 years in transportation. Next, if I could have Ms. Julieta Quiroz come up, please. Ms. Julieta Quiroz, 23 years. Julieta has been the quiet voice of support for all administrators, supervisors, teachers, and staff for over 2 decades. She has made herself available via phone, text, or office visit, and has met people in their workplace on countless occasions to listen to their questions and guide them to their answers. She has always been unbiased, calm, and simply put, present. Arguably the three most important qualities in the leader of human resources. She has always been just a phone call away, and she will be sorely missed. Ms. Julieta Quiroz. Years.
Sorry you came to my house and my house was dirty.
You're welcome to come in. 25 years. Anna has committed her career to working with students with communication challenges. As an SLP, Anna provided countless students with a voice. Student services could always count on Anna to assist with challenging students, communicate with parents, and assist teachers. Understanding communication disorders is challenging, and Anna was always the first person to help others understand the best way to communicate and receive communication from our students. There will be a large hole in our department. Thank you so much, Ms. Anna, for all of your years, 25 years. Thank you. Last but certainly not least, 26 years, Ms. Virginia Pearson. And just a reminder to all the retirees, there's going to be out in the hallway or outside right after. So thank you. Ms. Virginia Pearson, once again, 26 years. Wow. Virginia, thank you for your commitment to the students and families of SCD 35. The Student Services Department considers Virginia to be instrumental in the success of our district-wide inclusion program. Virginia has always accepted new challenges, strived to continue to be a lifelong learner, and has set an example for others in the special education department. Ms. Pearson also has been a regular supporter of athletics and will be sorely missed at the ticket table. We're going to attest to that. Thank you for always putting the needs of our students and families above all else. Enjoy your retirement. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's 232 years that we're going to miss sorely. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fanning, for the presentations. Do you have any comments?
Truly, congratulations. Thank you for all those years that you've worked. You know that you've made an impact and you know that you'll be missed. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Vasquez?
Just same thing. Thank you for all your hard work, your service. Been there, done that. And, I've also been, I was in the district for 26 years, just like Ms. Virginia. I worked with Virgie really close and with the rest of them. So congratulations for your hard work, for your dedication, and for making such an impact on all of our students. Okay, take care. Enjoy your retirement. I'm not. Enjoy your retirement, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Fanning said 232 years. I'm going with an average of 1,000 students per year. That's 232,000 students, you know, that we probably saw throughout those years. But yeah, some of you, we go way back. I started in Rio Rico back in 94, 95, when the football field was dirt. Then it changed to grass. Now we got turf. So we've been around a long time, but thank you to each and every one of you for your dedication to our district, your respective school sites, and especially the students. Thank you for your mentorship and your knowledge and your teaching them. And yeah, enjoy your retirement and have fun.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Ms. Frauenfelter, who's not here, for supporting the German-American Partnership Program that I ran at Rio Rico High School for 20 years. And she supported Daniela and taking part in the exchange. So thank you so much for having supported. I know she's not here, but maybe she's listening. But thank you so much for having supported the German-American Partnership Program all those years. And Michelle Guevara, well, it was fun working with you at the high school and seeing you around once in a while at Calabasas. You're an outstanding teacher and I'm so happy for you. Very happy. I hope you enjoy your retirement. You're a great teacher. To Stan Gilman, thank you, Stan, for all that you did at the middle school to help me out. And for hanging out with me in and out of the school and for all those cool noises it used to make, all the bird noises, all the animal noises at the middle school. I'm sure all the students remember that when you did that. You're a very cheerful person and very outgoing teacher. Thank you for your service. Darla Henson, I can't thank you enough, Darla, for having done all those great things for me. You supported the German-American Partnership Program and let your daughter take part in it. And Marley, who's sitting over here on the end with all the balloons in her hands. I want you to know, all you kids that are here from Rio Rico High School, that she set a record for going to Germany. He went 3 times on the German-American Partnership Program. And she still holds that record. So I'm hoping one day one of you guys will break it. Somebody will break it at the high school and we'll have the GAP program again. Yeah. And also, Henson also supported one of my basketball players, Lucas Evans, from Germany through the Rotary program. And Lucas lived with Mr. Beach here for a long time, and then he lived with me and then with Miss Henson. I can tell you he loved, of course, he loved being with Mr. Beach because he's so outgoing and funny. But and he stayed with me a couple of weeks, but he really enjoyed his time with you, Darla, and you made a tremendous difference in his life. Like I said to you the other day when I saw you, you're like his second mom. You know, he just loved being at your house and getting to know your family, and you made him feel so welcome, and you made him feel like one of us. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you did, all those times that you taxied him around and doing basketball tournaments and picking him up in school. Thank you. Blanca, the same with you. You sent Ariela with me and supported the German-American Partnership Program. And thank you for all that you did at the district office for me when I was a teacher for 20 years at Rio Rico High School. Ana Mesa, same. Well, yours has to do with basketball. Your kids play basketball?
He didn't want to travel. He just wanted to play basketball. I'm so sorry.
Lucas Mesa played for us at the high school. They're outstanding basketball players. Just really, they were fun and they had great personalities. It was great parenting.
Remember you as a coach, they always.
I appreciate that, but thank you for supporting our basketball team at RA. Julieta, thank you for everything that you did. You worked so hard, and I know you want to make sure you got the finish line, and you did, and congrats. And thanks for all the good times. I see you once in a while at the Arizona games, at a football game. So, but thank you for all that you did, because I know you worked so hard and worked very hard to make things flow for us in the schools. Thank you. And thank you to all of you. Some of you I don't know as well. Thank you for your services. Mr. Beach said that's a lot of people that you touched in our community. So your efforts are immeasurable. Thank you, all of you, for all that you did. Oh, and I want you to know that I fought very hard to make sure you have those beautiful plaques that you have. That's what I got. I got a pin for 20 years of service. I fought like a tiger. Make sure that you were going to get that. And to Mr. Verdugo's credit, he lived up to the challenge. And now you guys have those beautiful plaques that you got in a nice ceremony here in our district office. So thank you for all that you did. Thank you so much.
A reminder, as I mentioned to the members of that are retiring, you're always welcome back. So if you come back, you're welcome back. So enjoy maybe a year off.
This is your moment if you wish to not get caught up in a meeting here. You can leave.
So if somebody would like to leave, and Mr. Fanning would like to take a photo outside.
Yeah. Thank you again. For all the students, feel free to sit down if you'd like. You don't have to stand in the back there. Thank you. Angie, do we have any calls to the public?
Yes, we do. We have 10 call to the public.
Okay.
There you go.
So I will call you up one at a time. We will start with Annabelle Flores.
Did you have a record to read the,
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read that.
so that
I got you. Okay. Members of the public wishing to address the board on matters within the jurisdiction of the board are required to complete the appropriate request to speak form and submit the completed form to the board secretary prior to the meeting. At the conclusion of call to the public, individual members of the board may only respond to criticism, ask staff to review a matter, or ask that a matter be placed on a future agenda. However, board members shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Public comment should be limited to 3 minutes or less, and the board requests that the public refrain from the use of speech or language that is offensive, inappropriate, pursuant to board policy KFA. The president will limit discussion whenever she deems action appropriate to the proper conduct of the meeting. And I would like to remind you that we have the right to challenge anything that is not true, any criticism that is unfounded or not true. Thank you.
and then we do have the timer.
Okay. So, Ms. Annabelle Flores.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon. My name is Anabel Flores and my son is a senior at Rio Rico High School. And I am here to speak on behalf of our principal, Mr. Estrada. Me as a parent, I am so thankful, and at home, we feel that we are blessed to have such a wonderful principal at our school. He is at every event possible. He will be at soccer games, at basketball games, recitals, banquets, dances, and with a big smile on his face. He knows every person's name, first name, last name, and he cares about each and one of our kids. There is no negativity whatsoever on this principle that we have. He listens to our kids, he respects our kids, he puts them first, and that makes them feel important, and it makes them feel special. There hasn't been not one time that I haven't seen him at one of my son's activities. If it's law enforcement, if it's soccer, if it's photography, wherever my son is, he's there. He's supporting every one of our kids and every one of their activities. Again, with a big smile on his face. Me as a parent, I don't know how he does it. He can be, I'll give you an example. On senior night, soccer night, he was there, and then he went upstairs and he was at another, I think it was basketball senior night as well. He is at the field trips. He is at their going away activities. He is going to be chaperoning our kids' graduation field trip. So we are more than blessed as a community. You know, Rio Rico's always talking about repping, representing, educating, respecting, and this is the man right here. He puts Rio Rico High School first and then his family second. And we should all be thankful for that, because not a lot of teachers do that, not a lot of principals do that. And he has no comparison, not here, not in Nogales, not in Tucson, not in Patagonia, not in any other district than what we have here. So we as parents should be thankful to have somebody that's always there with a smile on his face and supporting every single one of our kids. If you ask him who that person is, he will tell you the name, which means that he cares. He cares about us, he cares about our children, and he cares about our school. He always has positive things to say to our kids at school. And we as parents should be thankful for that. Because what would happen if he wasn't there? He would be criticized for not being there. He would be criticized for not putting his face Puerto Rico will be criticized. So we owe him many, many applauses and many, many thank yous.
Thank you.
Mr. Paul. On this, would you please come up?
Sorry.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, members of the board. My name is Paul Montes. I'm a former Nogales High School student, and I'm here to talk about my experiences at Nogales High School and currently at Rio Rico High School as well as a senior. I went into my freshman year at Nogales with excitement. I was immediately introduced with judgment and with rules that are very specific and strict. I tried to brush it off as time went on. After our time in COVID, even my junior year, with positive attitudes, but again, caught off with more judgment and politics. I was very familiar with Rio Rico High School due to the school growing because of the new principal Hector Estrada. As I watched my friends speak well about Rio Rico, I decided to restart and transfer to Rio Rico High School myself. I was immediately greeted by a great smile and energy from Mr. Estrada. As time went on, I was getting used to the school and realized two big things. One, the interaction with the students and staff. Second, seeing how united students are with each other, such as our quarterly pep rallies that we have every quarter, of course. Everyone has pure smiles and laughs with each other, creating memories to live on. I was caught off guard, yet excited to see how it would work out for me. I would never think that a high school could bring so much joy to a regular student like me. Every morning, there was always something to look forward to. While being in class, you could look forward to the interactions with your teachers, and they take time to help you understand anything that you weren't sure of. They have never failed to put a smile on my face and made me look forward to my future career. I have nothing but pure positive thoughts on Rio Rico High School due to my principal Hector Estrada and our staff. As the year ends, I would like to thank our staff and again, Mr. Estrada for switching my perspective about school.
Okay. Paulette Ledesma. His name Paulette Ledesma. I'm sorry, Paulette, I know you.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the governing board. My name is Paulette Ledesma, and my position at Rio Rico is as the all-student body president. And as an overall well-rounded student and athlete. My purpose here today is to bring light to the situation of the governing board not acknowledging the importance of student voices. Personal experience and alluding to Paul's point, I myself too was part of the Nogales district up until 8th grade. I know what it's like to be part of both sides and looking at how the district is moving, it's towards dividing us instead of bringing our schools together. If you want to compare both schools, let's start off with how schools deal with student voices. The reason our school is so successful and has achieved so much is due to how student-based we are. Student Senate, Student Council, and Linker are many other clubs where student ideas, and because of admin, they are now a reality. In the end, we don't have had the success in our athletic, student life, and admin without our student voices and support.
Eduardo Madrid.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the board. I am Eduardo Madrid. I'm currently a junior at the Rio Rico High School and part of the Student Senate and baseball team. We are here this afternoon to address a problem that we have as a school and we feel that has not been looked at or paid attention. We have so many good qualified teachers here at Rio Rico High School, and they do an amazing job with their teaching and have an incredible impact on kids. They respect our culture, but also want to expose us to new ways of teaching and learning. But the issue is that most of these teachers that have good impact on students are leaving because they feel that teachers don't have as much of a voice within the board. Because they feel that members of the governing board are acting as individuals, which individual members do not have power. Teachers think that students do not have a voice either, so teachers are not liking how it's starting to feel. For example, my strength coach is leaving after the news came out. All the strength classes were very sad and upset because this person has such an important impact in our students' lives. Students who who the board should be looking out for. We know you are volunteers, but your service should be a group to improve our experience. Whatever experience certain board members may have had either here as an example, as an employee or a student should have nothing to do with how we're moving forward. Because Nogales has not changed since my parents have graduated, why can't we have that change? I would ask that the governing board not just visit certain teachers or their classrooms. Instead, you should make meetings open to anyone who would like to provide information. Dear members of the governing board, you would not imagine how many students from Nogales have told me they want to transfer and how many parents have said so many good things about Rio Rico. I think the governing board should at least have our back with that. Thank you.
Fiona Solis.
Sorry. Hi, good evening, Mr. President and Governing Board. My name is Fiona Solis, and I'm currently a senior at Rio Rico High School. I have over 400 community service hours for my last 4 years, so I would like to say I'm very experienced with the changes that have happened in the school. I'm here today to discuss the importance of student voice. Since my freshman year to my senior year, I have noticed the difference in Mr. Estrada. I have had many conversations with my brothers who graduated in 2020 and 2021. They always tell me how they wish they were able to be as involved and as heard as I have been during my high school years. The high school experience is full of dread due to no student input and no changes made. Their one wish was that our school had started moving in the positive direction that it is now when they were in school because they feel student, faculty, and administration all care for student success more now than ever. Their fear for their former high school and the district is that we'll revert to our old ways and do the bare minimum of what was done before. We only revert back to that under your direction. Rio Rico High School has made me grow greatly as a person, and I believe future and current students should be able to have that growth as well. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along here, Ilian Islava.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the governing board. My name is Ilian Islava, and I am currently a Rio Rico High School senior who is involved in extracurricular activities such as Interact, National Honor Society, FBLA, Lean Crew, and Student Senate. Moreover, I am the photography club president as well as a current valedictorian of my graduating class. I am here today to bring attention to the positive environment that the school has created for me as well as my fellow peers. Mr. Estrada has been our principal and mentor since my freshman year, as he has allowed the students to advocate for the learning environment that is best for us. Through Student Senate, we were able to advocate for the changes that we as students wanted at the school. There have been implementations of new clubs as a way to encompass the diversity amongst the students. Not only has Mr. Estrada and the Rio Rico High School staff created a safe environment for students to learn, but they have allowed students to feel accepted and express themselves as a person they are. As a freshman, I was a very shy person who was scared to become involved at school. However, coming back as a junior due to the pandemic, Ms. Estrada made it comfortable for me to join the photography club, in which I felt like I could express myself. Moreover, Mr. Estrada has encouraged students to use their student voice, as we need to stand up for ourselves in the real world. Thus, I believe that our learning does not stop at academic knowledge that our teachers teach us at the school, and they enforce life lessons that we will carry with us after high school graduation. With high school, there are fun experiences that most students have, but there is a balance. I can say from my personal experience that I find a way to manage multiple activities at once, as well as prioritizing my academics at the end of the year. At the end of the day, learning depends on the student and the motivation they possess, but the motivation and learning environment created by the school deeply influences students. Thank you.
Cassandra Navarro.
Good evening, Mr. President and members of the governing board. My name is Cassandra Navarro, and I am a current senior at Rio Rico High School. I am part of the softball program, Public Safety Club, Photography Club, Student Senate, Interact, National Honor Society. I'm here today to bring light to the positive changes Mr. Estrada has had on the entire school. I especially want to reiterate to Mr. Estrada that the amount of work he puts into school does not go unnoticed by the student body he serves. On the other hand, we feel as though the board is acting inappropriately in respect to not taking into account the voices of the students you are all affecting with the decisions you make. After Estrada arrived at Rio Rico High School, he implemented a club called Student Senate, in which students bring issues to his attention and work with him closely to provide solutions for them. Through student input, students demonstrated their interest in dance, film, and television, and photography. Mr. Estrada worked to implement these programs into classes. This resulted in students having additional courses that they enjoyed learning, and they created pathways to receive certification, demonstrating that school is a place to learn in an enjoyable manner. An even bigger scale of student voice was heard. At the end of the day, the faculty at Rio Rico High School is molding our minds. We have a right to bring our opinions to the table and be heard. Another example of Mr. Estrada taking our voices into consideration is him including students in the panel when interviewing the teacher. This allows for students to have an opinion on what teacher, although their teaching style will best suit the majority of students. Who better to know this than students themselves? Mr. Estrada empowered our voice and made it known that what we want and need matters. Members of the governing board, if you believe there are issues with our institutions, students should be taken into consideration. At the end of the day, we are the ones being affected.
Damian Bustamante.
Good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon, Mr. President. My name is Damian Bustamante. I'm a sophomore here at Rio Rico, and I am student body vice president as well as involved in sports. I want to talk about the school and the changes that it has undergone and why it has improved for the better. During middle school, I was always told that high school would be the death of me. Many teachers described me as a problem, a distraction, even a lost cause, etc. However, coming in that freshman year was not what I expected high school to be. Instead of being met with restrictions or a textbook worth of tons of work, I was met with teachers who cared for their students and worried more about if they learned the curriculum rather than just getting an A on their report card. And a school that cared for their students, not just treating them like a number, but treating them like human beings that they are. Students here are allowed to express themselves, whether it's the way that they dress, showing school spirit, even rapping in their clubs and after school activities. It seemed to be an enlightening experience for everyone, and I think I speak for all of my peers when I say that Rio Rico High School is nothing like a prison, which is used to describe some of the schools in the area, and former alumni have expressed. I couldn't imagine being in a school that takes away your phone, thinking we can't function in school with it, or a school that restricts what we wear because they feel that the girls specifically don't dress appropriate. Now I ask you, even if we, the students, feel this way about our school, why do you feel obligated to go back to our roots, which quite frankly seem like a major setback to what Mr. Estrada and the other faculty members have established? Do the voices of the people you represent not matter anymore? Thank you for the time.
Alejandro Flores.
Mr. President and members of the governing board. My name is Alejandro Flores and currently a senior at Rio Rico High School. I'm here to bring to attention that the voices of our students are being taken away by the board. Throughout these 4 years, administration and the students have set the standard of student-led program. This way of thinking that Estrada introduced to us has led our students to excel in and out of school. This has led to the creation of many clubs like photography, sports like boys volleyball, and even esports, who just finished competing in the quarterfinals in their state competition. Most importantly, this led to our school being named an A+ school. In order to be named an A+ school, we need students who want to be at school, and most importantly, who want their education to get better. With our voices being heard, it motivated our students to engage in extracurricular activities. This made Rio Rico feel like our second home rather than a place we need to attend. Most importantly, our academics were so because we want to strive for these good grades, rather than settle for below average grade. Being at home makes striving for those good grades feel like a motivation rather than a burden. Being at home made us accomplish something that Nogales couldn't, the A+ award. Estrada has set us apart from Nogales with the standard that our voices are being heard. Now the question is, why do we want to copy Nogales and Rico and the A+ for our way of thinking? If anything, we are and will be an example for other high schools in Arizona, not only Nogales. Many principals have reached out to Rio Rico students to learn from our democratic ways. All of our students came together to write our speeches alone, independently, in support of administration and staff. Finally, if you to vote for Mr. Estrada seems like an educational malpractice, when you know what we know as students. I hope we have shown you how great our school is today. That's all.
Folks.
Hi, good evening. So my name is Paula Palafox. I am a 2020 Rio Rico High School alumni. I currently am a long-term substitute working towards a bachelor's in secondary education. Being a new and learning teacher, Estrada has allowed all faculty to learn and grow without feeling judged or pressured. I also couldn't have achieved the requirements needed without the support of him and our staff. As a former student and current teacher, I have noticed the positive impact of WeRep. Students feel comfortable and heard when they walk into our classrooms and campus. Having built relationships with students, parents, and coworkers has improved our support system in and out of the classroom. Admin has allowed students to be themselves and help them learn to express themselves in a healthy and positive manner. I have been able to witness and experience the positive changes that Star and our admin team have created and implemented. As a student, I wish I would have gotten the opportunities of being part of Student Senate, Stuco class, and after-school events. As a female employee, I do not appreciate the sexist and misogynistic comments that have been directed towards females in the work industry from our football coaches. Admin has made it a point to make sure all individuals in the community feel heard and respected. Although you feel Estrada is not a fit principal, he has created a movement in which our students have all of which is We Read. Without We Read and being a unique school, we wouldn't have received recognition for A+. As an alumni and current employee, I would like for our students to continue to feel comfortable and heard with the guidance of Estrada and our admin team. Thank you.
Would like to say about the criticism?
Really, I am so happy to have heard your voices. I'm sitting here feeling like, you know, I don't know that I ever disregarded your voices. I don't think I heard them. But I'm thrilled with what you have to say. I hope I hear more from you. I hope that this experience has taught you that you can come by, you can tell us like, you just don't know how good our school is. Or you can come by and say, our school needs a little work. Maybe somebody should check on it. We want to hear your voices. So, I mean, I'm thrilled to see this turnout. I am so happy to hear. I mean, just from where I sit, you know, I think Rio Rico High School is fantastic. And I think 90% of that goes to Mr. Estrada. So, you know, I'm in your camp, kids, but honestly, we're not trying to hear your voices. I just don't think they were loud. Thank you.
I'd like to remind the governing board we're supposed to move on criticism. Mr. Beach.
Okay, well, whatever that means, but yeah, thank you to the parents, students that voice their support for our school. We have an amazing high school, Rio Rico High School, I think an amazing district. Your support for Mr. Estrada. Your voice will always be heard in this boardroom. So let's make that heard also. As board members, we also have to hear the opposing views of students and parents out in our community in which there have been voiced. So we got to hear voices from all sides, and it's sort of a balancing act for us. Okay, but thank you for speaking, and your voice was definitely heard. Mr. Estrada, we did have a productive meeting, some minor changes, and I think Rio Rico High School keep on climbing the ladder to success. So, thank you for all that presented tonight.
Ms. Vasquez.
Thank you. Yes, just what they said, everything times two. Thank you very much for coming and expressing your voices and letting us know what you guys feel. I think that Mr. Estrada is doing a good job, and I think that Rio Rico is a very good school. Okay, and it's not only because of him, it's because of all of you guys and everything that you guys do, because really you guys are the ones that take the big, you know, the bolt of it. Okay, so thank you very much for voicing your opinions, and we want to see you guys here. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I just want to respond to some of the criticism as far as not listening to voices, the student voices. I'll tell you, when I first came here and I was, this year, when I was nominated and chosen for president, voted in for president, you can go back and look at the film if you like. The very first thing I said was that we make the best, I vow to you that I'm going to make the best decisions in the best interest of the students. That is what I said. So I just wanted to say that. And also with regard, somebody had mentioned the dressing and so forth. We as a governing board Well, the school has a dress code and we as the governing board are responsible for discipline. You can read that in the state rules. And so with regard to the dress code, we have to enforce the rules that our school will have a dress code. We have to enforce those rules. My daughter, I'll just tell you something, my daughter, Marisol, she got caught up in all this stuff before you guys had to wear uniforms in the middle school. My daughter used to dress appropriately and everything. She got caught up in all of that. You know, some kids came to school and they didn't dress appropriately. And the rules weren't enforced. And so eventually, and I was not on the board back then, I was a teacher. Eventually, the board pushed hard to make sure that they had uniforms in the school. As a consequence of the rules not being enforced. Okay. But I'm real proud of you for coming here tonight and for being brave and coming up to speak here and speaking your mind. I think it's great. It's really good to hear your voices. Very proud of you for coming here tonight. And also Ms. Flores has spoken other, and I just think it's great and it's good to hear your voices. So as Ms. Fabian said, you know, we're always welcome to hear your voices here. You're always welcome to come. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us tonight. Thank you. Mr. Estrada, Superintendent's report.
No, I'm gonna be confused there.
Give Estrada.
Thank you. A few items, we have a long meeting already. Just want to congratulate all of the spring sport teams that competed in the big tournament. In the state list, I think we had somebody was our 300s and we had more that followed that. So we have over 300 medalists in medical history. So which is amazing. So congratulations to all those athletes. As I mentioned before, tomorrow is Mexican Mother's Day, which is
Yes.
Little Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers tomorrow. Also, Mr. Nikowski was selected to be a presenter at the state conference for teaching in science.
Mr. S.
Yeah, so he was selected to that, so I want to congratulate him. And then also with all of the different things happening this week and next week, home meeting and graduation next week, we have a lot of different, so we're attending all of them. Thank you.
Governing board member reports, Ms. Bobian.
I attended the A+ celebration at Rio Rico High School. And it was upbeat and exciting and showcased the talents of the kids. And I enjoyed it very much. It's like I say, I'm a fan. I really am. I don't think you can have the successes that they're having on so many levels. These aren't going well if we don't have somebody who's really taking care of all the little details that flow. So, I mean, support and my admiration. I'm really enjoying all the ending events that are happening at all the sites and seeing them on social media. That's nice. And a lot of those kids leaving going to the 6th that it's charged. So it's a fun time of year. Thank you.
Mr. Beach.
Yeah, definitely a fun time of year with all the transition ceremonies, the big high school graduation coming up. A lot of things moving right now. Congrats to all the track and field, softball, baseball, all the athletic teams. You guys had an outstanding season this year. A lot of compliments from the people down in Nogales as well as Rio Rico. So continue doing the good work. I saw a lot of donations. Thank you to all those that donated to our district. And we do have 2 signees going on to bigger and better things. After high school, they're going to continue their collegiate career. And I think I saw Alani Rodriguez and Sofia Renteria. Wow, a big step. Now it's a job. Yep. So congrats to those 2 and taking it to the next level. And even though they're out of our district, we'll be keeping tabs on them. So they're always repping. Yep. All right, that's all I got.
Okay, Ms. Vasquez.
I also attended a lot of the events that were happening from the top 5%, amazing, all the young women and young men that were got the award for being at the top of the class. That was a really good night. Congratulations to all of the sports, everything that, that was said and stuff. I also know that Calabasas, there was one, what is the name of the new program that they went to? And they got I don't remember what it is, I'm sorry, but they got 3rd place. This is the first time that it happens. What is it? With robots, they were doing robots and the kids were, and then it's the first time in history, I think, that they've ever participated in Calabasas, got 3rd place also. So I thought that was really, really cool. I also wanted to congratulate Mr. Verdugo and his son. We have 2 former Calabasas students that were accepted into the U of A medical institute. So one of them is Mr. Verdugo's son, and the other one is one of our Mr. Ureña, and she's a substitute for our district. So congratulations to both of them. Very honored that it came from Calabasas. Two of them. Okay, that was really good. Plus everything else, yeah. Anyway, everything else that's happened is amazing. Congratulations to everybody that's graduating this year, and especially the transitions from 5th to 6th, and then from 8th to high school, and all of that stuff. So many things that are happening. I'm trying to be a part of all of this, and I also went and I talked to Mr. Estrada. I visited the school, many positives, so much good things happening at the schools, as we know by what the students were saying right now. A couple of things we need to tweak, but you know what? We're getting there. And I think that everybody, teachers, securities, everybody that's working, we're doing a good job. They're doing a very, very good job trying to get us where we have to be. So congratulations to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. It was great being at the FFA banquet. That was great. It was a big success. Thank you, Mr. McPherson, for everything that you did for that. It was awesome. It was really awesome. There's so many awards there. They had such a big group for the livestock. So many people honored for livestock. Even the 8th grade scored, they were tied for perfect scores for identifying tools. Hannah Munoz, the president, got $1,000 scholarship. There were lots of other ones that were really nice scholarships. And we got some nice awards for safety tractor operations and 53 certifications for AG science. That's huge. So kudos to Mr. McPherson and all that he does over there. He's just awesome. What an awesome teacher he is. I also got the opportunity to go to STEAM night, and I saw a girl named Hazel Romero. Mr. Well, can tell me because Mr. Estrada's not here anymore. He just disappeared on us. What is her name? Kaisel, I think? Kaisel. Yeah, Kaisel. And so she had this hydrogen peroxide and toothpaste kind of thing going on there, where she showed what happens. We mix the two and there was reaction. She kept saying hydrochloric acid, and I took a step back a couple of times, and she said that. But eventually it was hydrogen peroxide that she was trying to say. So she was talking to us about how, you break the chemical bonds, and that's why you had all this foam coming out, and then it produced heat. She made us put our hands up to it. And what a cool kid. What a great thing. And so we walked around, we saw all kinds of really neat experiments. Virtual stuff there, you put the headgear on, you put the thing looking, you could see the brain, all kinds of really cool stuff that night. So good job to that. And I had the pleasure of going to the RHS Golden Hawk Awards. And there were just so many nice awards there, so many great scholarships from all over the place. That just such a great job. I'm so happy to see a lot of my former students there too, and see that they had lived up to their 5-year letter. When they were in school with me in the 7th grade, they wrote a 5-year letter, and they had talked about a lot of the things that they wanted to accomplish, and there they were accomplishing many of those things. In fact, I'm going to take those letters to the high school and make sure that they get back to all those kids. There were a big, thick thing of them like this. And so it'd be interesting, it'd be nice, Mr. Verdugo, to see the kids get their letters and see they can read. the letter that they wrote to themselves 5 years ago. Which is really cool. But they accomplished a lot of those things that night. A lot of awards. And I want to give a big shout out to Ralph and Dora Mesa. Together, they have created $11,250 worth of scholarships. And I was very touched that they had mentioned me and Mr. Fanning as having been their coaches. They're just awesome people, really wonderful people in our community. They represent the best. You talk about repping, which I think is funny, but representing the best of our community. And really wonderful people, really wonderful people. And I think it's safe to say, and I can speak for John, that he was an awesome athlete. They're wonderful people, and we could have asked for a better athlete. So, thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Mesa. God bless you. That you continue to do for our community. And I wanted to give a big shout out to Mr. Lopez. Mr. Lopez, you just dressed so appropriately that night. Love your shoes, your tie, everything. He is one heck of a public speaker. And he could speak in the English language, and there wouldn't be an American that would know that he could speak Spanish so fluently. In Mexico, I think he's a Mexicano because he's so good at switching back and forth. He's a wonderful speaker, and I look forward to you taking over Guatemala because I know you're going to do really good work. But kudos, hats off to you, Mr. Lopez. You're a great public speaker. I loved your speech. I thought you were dressed appropriately, and I thought it just everybody there they did such a good job. I did want to mention one little thing I didn't like. I saw a couple of caps in that audience. I want to say that if I were the principal of that school, I'd make sure I was on my A game that night, and make sure that I wasn't going to have board members come and see kids in caps in that kind of ceremony. So that's not cool, and that runs contrary to our dress code. I can tell you, and I'm sure Mr. Fanning would say the same. We wouldn't even let our athletes wear caps in that gym. So that's just inappropriate. We shouldn't have people wearing caps in that kind of ceremony. But in the big picture, it went well. Again, we saw so many awards. It was great. A good ceremony, and I was very happy, very proud to be there. A big shout out to my colleagues for having observed the schools. We were commended by the Inquiry Lab for going to the schools and visiting. And now Mr. Kramer is gone, Mr. Beach, Ms. Vasquez and I. And we got to see a lot of stuff over there. High school, good and bad. I talked for a long time, and she was very happy that she had overcome her math anxiety at the school. And she said that when she'd had a regular class that she felt kind of uncomfortable, and so she was happy to take classes online. And she did a really good job. She was sat there for a while, and this was explained to me her successes as a student, and I was very pleased. I talked to one student mentioning, you know, how we heard several students talk about their move over here. You know, moved up here from Nogales because he had a really rough year when he was playing basketball down there, and he fell behind in credits. And he told me that he felt that he could make up the credits at our school because there wasn't any limit as to how many that you could make up in high school. So I thought that's cool. I don't know if that's true. Mr. Schaller over there shaking his head, but I thought it was really great that he was at our school. And he was showing me how he had made up a lot of the credits. And so I was really proud of him. Again, the dress code, that kind of bothered me. Sure, Mr. Kramer talked about Mr. Beach, Ms. Vasquez, so things we need to clean up over there. To that, we can't have. I showed up in the first 10 minutes. I saw like 15 girls wearing their dress, and we have a dress code. It's important. But I saw a lot of good things too at the high school as well. So a lot of really nice things happening. And I was very pleased to talk to students and hear about their academic successes. Again, like I mentioned to you, I have those nice letters that those kids wrote in the 7th grade. And I look forward to giving them to them in the high school. They wrote a 5-year letter. We're here, Mr. Stahler, when I mentioned this. They wrote a 5-year letter to themselves. And so it's the 5th year now. So I like to give those to, I'll probably give them Mr. Lounge. You can hand them all out to the kids. But it's really cool because they accomplished a lot of the things they said that we're going to. Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Why 2022-2023 budget revision, Mr. Verdugo?
Thank you. And thank you. I'd like to invite Ms. Brown up. Again, this is, I believe, our final revision for the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Verdugo. Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. As Mr. Verdugo mentioned, May gives us the opportunity to do a final revision to the current fiscal year's budget. We take this opportunity to adjust our ADM to actual. So it's this is when we actualize our projections. When I come and present the budget to you in the summer for the fiscal year, it's based on projections of enrollment. When we come back to you in May, we're past the 100th day mark, and then it's time to actualize our budget and to replace our projections with the actual enrollment for the year. So in the memo that I share with you, that is the first item that's highlighted as the main reason for today. The general ADM, I went ahead and projected 3,478, and at the 100th day ADM, our district was at 3,140, representing a 36 increase from my projection. The other area that's important to highlight is the students that are identified to receive additional services. So in the group, and then they're also known as Group B weights. The Group B weight, I estimated 1,877. On the 100th day, we were at 2,021 students receiving additional services. So I went ahead and made those adjustments. And they actually, when it's an increase, they obviously generate additional funding for the district. The next item that I highlighted in my memo is the annual transfer that we conduct into the energy and water savings account. As you know, the district participated in a major energy savings and water savings conservation project years ago. And as a result of that project, we capture savings that we transfer into this account specifically, and we use to pay for the equipment that we put in place of it. The amount of that transfer for this year is $360,490. Then the third item is an item that it was brought to the attention of the board and was discussed in executive session. Therefore, I will not discuss any of the details behind this topic. The district received an audit from the Department of Education. As you know, attendance and membership generates funding for districts. So we were randomly selected for an audit by the Department of Education. And the audit highlighted that the district overstated membership and attendance for a couple of years, resulting in a net adjustment, a reduction to our M&O of $215,897. The next item that I am finalized in this revision is fiscal 22 carryover. Again, when I present your budget in July, the new budget in July, at that time we are working what is called under the encumbrance period. We're working with 2 fiscal years at the same time. And at that time, the only thing that I can do is project how much money we're going to have left as we still have encumbrances to take care of. So by now, we obviously fiscal 22 is well closed, and we have our final numbers. I'm going to ask if you can direct your attention in my memo to the table that's called Major Fund Summary of Revisions. Because what the 4 items that I just shared with you impact M&O and District Additional Assistance, which is a capital fund. For M&O for this revision, I am increasing our M&O fund by $820,280. That's a 2.4% increase to the general fund, giving you a total M&O budget to our district of $34.5 million. The other fund listed there is the District Additional Assistance, is our capital fund. In this case, I've reduced that fund by $5,400. It's a 0.1%. And total revised budget for this year in capital dollars is $4,081,900. We also take by this time, we have all the amendments for our grants, all the final allocations from the state. Sometimes they give me those very late, but we hope to have the majority of them. They are actually presented in your memo and in the budget forms as well. For federal funds, district is capturing $9.1 million this year. In the state programs, $1.3 million. In the federal funds, it represents that $9.1 million represents a 17% increase. In the state programs, a 5% increase. As part of those federal program dollars, the 9.1 are included the one-time federal relief funds that we receive for COVID. You'll find the details for each fund on your second page of the memo. Our district has worked very hard and hand in hand with the health office to have a plan that can transition out of the one-time funding that we received. We are left for next year with ESSER 3 and an ESSER 3 allocation that we received from an application that the county submitted to the feds. We also have ARP homeless mini grant this year, and we're finalizing the ESSER 2. The funds that I went ahead and adjusted are cash accounts that we keep track. An example of those cash accounts could be your gift and donations account. Some of the gift and donations that you see on your agenda, make sure that we recognize them in our budget so that gives the spending capacity that the sites need to access those funds. Tax credit contributions would be another one among many others. One of the ones that is our most important cash account that we have and that has made a significant difference in our buildings is the building renewal grant fund. We are this fiscal year, we are going to be closing out the work that we spend it over a 3-year period on getting new roofs and 4 out of our 5 buildings with a value of over $8 million. We have in this budget tonight, you see that for the school facilities grant fund, I have an allocation of $2.8 million. That is just to close out the Rio Rico High School project. And we are also starting up with the modernization of Calabasas school. So those are the projects that we have currently under review with SAP. Are there any questions?
Colvin,
I have none, thank you.
Vasquez,
I have none, thank you.
Mr. Beach.
I have none.
I have none as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
This is a motion item.
Do I hear a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022-2023 budget revision as? I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Sodexo RFP 2107 review.
Our annual like food service, our facilities, and custodial services, and really, Mr. Kramer was not here. A lot of questions about that. We placed it on the agenda as a standalone item in case that he had any questions, but I'll go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Lundberg.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board. As Mr. Verdugo stated, we are here tonight to renew the Sodexo's facility contract. Some information that I wanted to share with the board. As we are completing bond projects, we are seeing an increase in usable square footage. So that is addressed within the contract for this year. There's an increase in grounds staff to address that usable square footage as well as weed control. We asked that there be some additional weed mitigation because it's challenging to keep up with weeds, especially when the monsoon comes. Included in the contract is the purchase of capital equipment specific to maintenance. Also the employee salary and benefit increases that we have experienced also here in the district. And then automating our facilities use. Currently, if an outside agency would like to use our facility or within our existing facilities, we have different systems. This would bring all of those systems together and allow us to have a consistent and web-based facilities use program. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Mr. Goldsmith is also available. He's a Sodexo regional manager, and I believe Mr. Peters is here as well.
Colvin,
I have no questions, thank you.
Vasquez,
No questions either. Thank
Mr.
you.
Beach.
No questions.
I have none as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the renewal of the RFP 2107 Sodexo maintenance and custodial services as presented?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Classified indefinite term.
I think you'd like to invite, this is for our classified indefinite term appointment contracts.
Good evening. So this is our support staff contract. It's the only one remaining between the board meeting, and I'm happy to report there are no major changes in the contract for the previous year.
Discussion, Ms. Fogarty?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Each? No. Vasquez?
The hourly rate changed? And is that included in this contract?
Well, minimum wage did go up in January, and yes, hopefully when you approve the following item, everybody's will receive an increase for next year. But that's a separate item.
So similar to what we did the previous meeting.
Yes.
The contract, and this is the link.
The language forward, that's all it's talking about. Perfect. No questions. Thank you.
I have none as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to approve the classified indefinite term appointment for 2023-2024 fiscal years presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. 5% increase for hourly staff. Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. This is, last year, if you remember, we created a whole new salary replacement guide. It was one of the biggest financial endeavors we've ever gone with $600,000 to make sure that our hourly staff is paid competitively, adequately, supported. Remember, some individuals up to 20% salary increase last year, which was significant. So with that, you'll see the bigger recommendations here are for updating, as Ms. Vasquez was just asking that question about the minimum wage. So we will update the minimum wage because every January that happens. And then also we will now have a recommendation on salary increase. So there will be some that will see a change in their placement because of the minimum wage, but then there's others that will see the 5% salary increase. I don't know if I explained that adequately, but the recommendation is to approve the 5% salary increase.
Okay.
It's on 7 and 14. Someone want to make the motion?
The hourly placement guide, right?
No, this is.
I'm sorry.
5% salary.
5%. It's on that top of page 7.
Okay, I got you. Do I hear a motion to approve the 5% increase for? Oh, I'm sorry. Any discussion, Ms. Fogan? None, Mr. Beach? None. Just want to make sure. Do I hear a motion to approve the 5% increase for all eligible hourly staff for 2024 fiscal years presented?
So
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Policy GCBA and GBA.
We have one more.
I'm sorry, subject to.
So this is going to ask Ms. Kittles to come up. She can explain the guide changes. Succinct than I could.
Yeah.
So go discuss, we did make a big investment last year redesigning our hourly placement guide. The adjustment we want to make this year is simply to add 2.5% to all the cells on the guide to remain competitive.
Okay, any discussion, Ms. Fobian?
No questions.
Vasquez?
Okay, I don't understand. You said now 2.5%?
To the guide,
To the guide.
to the guide, so our new
Understand
staff get placed on the guide.
It's on the guide. Okay.
Because what will occur, the minimum wage is going to cause some compression. And so that I believe it affects like 22 individuals, but by adding 2.5%, it'll hopefully alleviate some of the compression for future hires to keep that gap. Because again, we invested so much to create the gap that we then properly place individuals. Now we're trying to get ahead of that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Beach?
Was that no questions?
Okay, and I don't have any. Do I hear a motion to approve the 2023-2024 hourly placement guide as presented?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Thank you, Ms. Quiroz. Thank you so much. Policy GCBA and GDBA, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. So when you approved, is now policies, and so we want to make sure that even though we will do policy revision for next year, we still need to update our current policy that we're working on. So now that we've adjusted our rate guides, the recommendation is to approve policy changes.
So do we have any discussion? Logan?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Beach? Vasquez? I have none either. So do I hear a motion to approve the revision of policy GCBA and policy GDBA?
So moved.
Second. I have a motion, and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Issues for legislative committee consideration. Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. Yes, so it is time for the ASBA proposed issues for their agenda, which members of the ASBA. So you were set what their possible topics were for the agenda. We received that back, and you have a sheet that has the 5 that were recommended by each of the board members to make one recommendation of 5. So it's up to the board tonight. We can, there was a lot of similarities, and we think, and you will bring that all together. So you consolidated that, and so the recommendation would be, instead of coming back May 23rd, because it is due May 24th, we could discuss it tonight and bring it back, but the recommendation, since we already had everybody consolidated, had 5 similar topics, I think we just recommended the board that you approve what those 5 were for into ASB.
Okay. Do I hear any discussion? Spoken.
I'm happy with the 4.
The Beach. Vasquez.
Very happy with the 4.
I am too, and I think that we should take care of it tonight, Mr. Verdugo. So do I hear a motion to pass the submissions, priority submissions submitted by the governing board? A second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 4-0. Propose and prioritize topics and possible dates and times for your board meetings. We have anything that any governing board member would like to prioritize or topic?
Not at this time. Thank you.
Vasquez,
None at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Beach?
I have none.
And I have none either. I think this, because we have still a list to cover.
So the only item take a motion to combine Saturday, June 17th. I want to respect the board's time. Having 2 meetings in 1 week is difficult, and so we're going to have a 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. meeting. I figured we could start the meeting with brief board agenda and then move right into the study session. So my recommendation is to combine the regular meeting from June 13th with our study session on June 17th.
Any discussion, Ms. Wogan? Ms. Vasquez?
No, I agree. I think it's a good idea.
Beach? No. And I'd just like to tell you, I'm thrilled about it. We got a lot of stuff, and it'd be nice to have a little respite in the action. And I appreciate you looking out for us, Mr. Verdugo, with regard to that calendar. So thank you, thank you. Okay, do I hear a motion to combine the June 13th meeting with the governing board study session on Saturday, June 17th of 2023?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Consent agenda. Does anybody have any matter on the consent agenda that would like to review and discuss? Phobia?
No.
Vasquez,
None, thank you.
Mr. Beach. None. So, and I have none. So do I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Second.
A motion is second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It passes 4-0. Thank you. And I guess it's a good time to say, you guys can all leave now, and go home. So. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, all principals, for coming. We appreciate it. Well, I hope to see all that perfect attendance like I saw at the last governing board meeting throughout the year. Okay. Executive session, superintendent contract. Pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A12. Notice is hereby given to the general public that the governing board of Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District 35 may vote to hold an executive session for the purpose of discussing the superintendent's conduct and possible discussion of records exempt from public inspection. Motion to convene executive session in room 125 of the conference room. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's just one more that you need to sign.
Okay, eso, but he said, no, but he's gonna, he hasn't signed any. He said he wasn't gonna do it until the end.
Okay, that's
Reconvene a regular session.
So moved.
Second,
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
aye.
Aye. We have no further business to discuss. This meeting is adjourned at 6:46.
Thank you.
Ahora sí.